Hello all my dear students. How are you all? Hope you are all are fit and fine. So let's welcome today's online class, that is Brainwave Zone Innovation with you by Kajal ma'am. So class, today I have come with a very interesting topic, that is organic compounds, especially for class 10 students and onwards, that is 11 and 12. This is very important topic, students. So I will highly recommend you to kindly good command over this topic, organic compounds, because all those board facing students are going to see so many questions based on this topic. And if your base is strong from now, you will be very easily able to solve questions for 11 and 12 classes. So I thought, like, okay, I should come with this topic. So the topic is organic compound. So students, do you know what is organic compound? So let's start with the compound. So students, the compounds of carbon are known as organic compounds. कहते हैं कि जो कार्बन का जो compounds होता है उसी को organic compounds बोलते हैं. Apart from carbon, most of the organic compounds contain hydrogen and many organic compounds contain oxygen or other elements. So organic compounds are hydrocarbons containing only carbon and hydrogen. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ऐसा नहीं कि ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स में सिर्फ कार्बन के कंपाउंड्स होते हैं. अपार्ट फ्रॉम कार्बन यू विल ऑल्सो सी compounds like hydrogen, oxygen and many more elements like chlorine, bromine, fluorine. Students, ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स जो हाइड्रोजन के साथ स्पेशली बॉन्डेड होते हैं उसी को हम लोग हाइड्रोकार्बन्स बोलते हैं. And or their derivatives, some of the examples of organic compounds are, if we talk about examples of organic compounds, that's methane, CH4, ethane, C2H6, ethene, C2H4, ethyne, C2H2, trichloromethane, CHCl3, ethanol, C2H5OH, ethanol, CH3CHO, ethanoic acid, CH3COOH, and urea, CONH2. Students, जो आप देख रहे हो ना बच्चे, OH, CHO, COOH, we will discuss later in functional groups. And here it's a formula of urea. Sometimes you will get formula for ethanol, urea. Question will ask कि आप ethanol का formula लिखो, urea का लिखो. Got it? Now taking examples of types of organic compounds. So you can see some of the common types of organic compounds are hydrocarbons, haloalkanes, alcohols, aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acids or organic acids. So let's discuss one by one. What are hydrocarbons? So a compound made up of hydrogen and carbon only is called hydrocarbon. Students, वैसे कंपाउंड जो सिर्फ हाइड्रोजन और कार्बन के कॉम्बिनेशन से बनता है उसे ही हम हाइड्रोकार्बन बोलते हैं. रिमेंबर, दैट मीन्स हाइड्रोजन प्लस कार्बन इज इक्वल टू हाइड्रोकार्बन. यू कैन टेक सो मैनी एग्जाम्पल्स, मिथेन, इथेन, इथीन, इथाइन, all are hydrocarbons. And the most important natural source of hydrocarbons is petroleum or crude oil, which is obtained from underground oil deposits by drilling of wells. And student, you also have to aware of it. Maybe you will get a 1 number question that आप बताओ कि natural source में hydrocarbon का example क्या हो सकता है. So you have to mention over there petroleum or crude oil. Okay, now talking about types of hydrocarbons. So students, hydrocarbons are of two types: saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. So let's discuss about saturated hydrocarbons, that is called alkanes. तो a hydrocarbon in which the carbon atoms are connected by only single bond is called a saturated hydrocarbon. Okay, वैसे हाइड्रोकार्बन स्टूडेंट्स जो सिंगल बॉन्ड से अटैच्ड होता है. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज, सिंगल बॉन्ड किसे बोलते हैं? सो यू आर सीइंग द लिंकेज बिटवीन, हियर आई एम हाईलाइटिंग यू द लिंकेज बिटवीन कार्बन एंड हाइड्रोजन. सो यू आर सीइंग लाइन्स from all the four sides, and this is called bond. Okay, and this is the linkage between carbon and hydrogen, that is called bond. And if it is in single line, that is called that is called saturated bond. Yeah, Okay, so here are the examples of methane, ethane, propane, butane. All are saturated hydrocarbons, students. Okay, if question will ask, you have to draw ethane, then you have to take two carbon. Remember, students, I will teach you later that for for methane you have to use only one carbon, for ethane two, for prop three carbons, for butane you have to use four carbons. And the thing you are seeing, students, that it is fulfilled by hydrogen from all the sides, because you know the valency of carbon is 4, so its octet should be completed. इसका जो octet है ना complete होना चाहिए, हर तरफ से इसे 4 bond मिलने चाहिए. You can count 1 2 3 4. Okay, from anywhere it should complete its octet. So students, here I am showing you the names and the molecular formula for the first 5 saturated hydrocarbons or alkanes. Okay, the very first one, number of carbon atom. Those hydrocarbons which having only one carbon is called methane and the formula is CH4. And for two number of carbon atoms, we called it ethane and the molecular formula will be Ce2H6. Same as for 3 propane and the formula is C3H8. For butane, there are 4 carbon atoms and the formula is C4H10. For pentane, 5 carbon atoms and the formula will be C5H12. And you can see structure, students. You must remember the formulas. So students, there is a formula, general formula we called to find out number of hydrogens or carbon in hydrocarbon. So here this is the formula that is highlighted. Alkanes, for you to find out for alkanes or saturated hydrocarbons, you have to use this formula. CnH2n plus 2. Always remember, students, N is the number of carbon atoms in one molecule of the alkane. So suppose here you can see if an alkane has one carbon atom in its molecule, then here N is equal to 1, then you have to put here 1. C1H2 into 1 plus 2. So C1 and H2 into 1, 2 plus 2, 4. So the formula will be CH4. Got it? Now student, discussing about second types of hydrocarbon, that is unsaturated hydrocarbon, and it only comes with alkenes and alkynes. You must wondering about alkenes and alkynes. What are these? So let's discuss about unsaturated hydrocarbons, that is alkenes and alkynes. So the very first, a hydrocarbon in which the 2 carbon atoms are connected by a double bond or a triple bond is called an unsaturated hydrocarbon. Students, वैसे हाइड्रोकार्बन जो कि कार्बन एटम्स अगर कनेक्टेड होते हैं तो वो डबल बॉन्ड से होने चाहिए. यू कैन सी हियर, यू कैन सी डबल बॉन्ड से वो कनेक्टेड होने चाहिए या तो फिर ट्रिपल बॉन्ड से होने चाहिए. यू कैन सी हियर इट शुड बी फ्रॉम डबल बॉन्ड और ट्रिपल बॉन्ड. देन वी कॉल्ड इट अनसैचुरेटेड हाइड्रोकार्बन. ओके, so now, so for double bond, if it is connected, if the carbon atoms are connected with double bond, तो हम उसे इन लगाएंगे. जो हमारा उसको represent करने का वे होगा, we have to use ENE, इन. And triple bond के लिए हम YNE करते हैं. Got it, students? Now a double bond is formed by the sharing of 2 pairs of electrons between the 2 carbon atoms, whereas triple bond is formed by the sharing of 3 electron pairs between 2 carbon atoms. So students, अगर बात करें इलेक्ट्रॉन्स की तो 1 bond is equal to 2 electrons होता है. Okay, मैं आपको शेयर करके. You can see the electron dot structure, students, that if you are seeing the 2 electrons here, that means 1 bond. Here 2 electrons means again 1 bond, and here 2 electrons means again 1 bond and again 1 bond. That means कि कार्बन के पास 4 होने चाहिए उसके outermost electron में to fulfill its octet. That's why it has 4. It has total, how many electrons it has? You can count. It has 8 electrons. That means 4 pair of electrons. And students, electron dot structure is very important for your board examination. So be remember, students. Students, like I am teaching from class 1 to 10. So and basically I focus to prepare for 10th student. So if you are seeking for personal sessions, so you may contact, kindly comment on my channel and I'll contact you. You may mention to your contact number, so I am ready to give you personal sessions. And especially I prepared for class 10 students for like chemistry, science, mathematics and communication. So you may contact to me, and that's why मैं बच्चों को बोलती हूँ कि आप इलेक्ट्रॉन डॉट स्ट्रक्चर पे बहुत अच्छे से कमांड करो. बॉन्ड वाले तो सेकेंड प्रायोरिटी रखो, बट इलेक्ट्रॉन डॉट स्ट्रक्चर वाले it must have to be good command over this topic. So you can see this is showing how sharing of electrons takes place, एंड इसमें आपको विदाउट शेयरिंग शो किया. एंड नाउ यू कैन सी कि ये डबल बॉन्ड बन गया. दैट इज स्ट्रक्चरल फॉर्मूला. So students, now talking about the general formula for alkene. So you have to use CnH2n. Remember students, for alkene you had to use CnH2n plus 2. For alkene CnH2n. You can put the formula like it is talking about if an alkene has 2 carbon atoms. So put in place of n you have to put 2, and then again in place of 2n like you have to put 2 into 2. So C2H 2 into 2 4. So C2H4. So here you can see that if a number of carbon atoms are 2, then the formula, molecular formula will be C2H4. For propene, that is 3 carbon atoms. So you have to use formula C3H6. And for butane, that is 4 carbon atoms. That means C4H8. So remember, you have to always use this general formula. These are golden rules by. And student, you have to learn that the common name of ethane is ethylene. Maybe this common name will ask in your paper that tell me the common name of ethane. So you have to say ethylene, and you already know the structure. Now coming to third one, students, alkynes. Okay, this is also comes under unsaturated hydrocarbons. So unsaturated hydrocarbons, if we talk about alkynes, so an unsaturated hydrocarbon in which the 2 carbon atoms are connected by a triple bond is called an alkyne. Now you have to follow the same principle students कि आपको इस पर triple bonds लगाने होते हैं. You can see here, see there are 2 carbon atoms connected with 3 triple bonds. That's why it is fulfilled by only one single bond from its ends, क्योंकि इसके जो octet है 4 वो complete. So students, if I talk about general formula for alkynes, so the formula is CnH2n minus 2, and you know n is the number of carbon atoms in the in one molecule of the alkyne. So whenever you have to find out for alkyne, you always have to use this formula. Let's take an example. For alkyne has 3 carbon atoms, तो आप उसमें n के प्लेस पे आप 3 यूज करोगे. If you will 3 in place of n, C3H2 into 3 minus 2. So the molecular formula you will get is 3 to 6 minus 2 4. So you will get the formula C3H4. Okay. So student, you can see for alkyne, ethyne is for 2 carbon atoms, that is C2H2, propyne 3 carbon atoms C3H4, and butane means 4. But चाहे समझ जाना, number of carbon atoms will be 4 and the molecular formula will be C4H6. Now students, this is very important thing that you are going to learn. Ethane, ethene and ethyne all are covalent molecules and which are formed by the sharing of electrons between various atoms. ये हमेशा electrons को share करता है, and that's why they always formed covalent bonds. Because I taught you in a special class, I have already given you कि covalent bond क्या होता है. The sharing of electrons to each atom, that is called covalent bond. So here you are seeing the electron dot structure for how they are sharing electrons and how they make bonds, students. So students, if I talk about naming of hydrocarbons, how you will name the hydrocarbon. So you can see this is a chart. First of all, you have to understand IUPAC name, that is stands for International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Maybe sometimes you will ask for the question. So IUPAC stands for. We learn 2 types of name in chemistry: common name and IUPAC name. So let's discuss about naming of hydrocarbons. So one carbon atom you have to say meth. For two carbon atoms you have to say eth. And after that depends on which hydrocarbon it is, like alkane group, alkyne group or alkene group. So you have to use accordingly. For three carbon atoms you have to say prop. 4 के लिए आप ब्यूट बोलोगे, always remember. For 5 it's fixed that pent. For 6 carbon atoms you have to use hex. For 7 carbon atoms you have to use heft. For 8 carbon atoms you have to use oct. For 9 carbon atoms you have to non, and for 10 dec. So it depends on saturated containing single bonds, as you already know that ends with ane. For unsaturated hydrocarbon containing double bond indicating ene, and for unsaturated hydrocarbon containing triple bond indicating writing the word ine. Okay, got it? And students, I have drawn saturated carbon and unsaturated carbon hydrocarbons. You can see for single bonds, ethane, methane is in between ethane and propane, you can see. So it can be your assignment just to practice up to 10 for all three. Ethane group, sorry, not ethane, yeah, you have to say for single bond, that is ane group and ine. Okay, you can see I have drawn this by myself for your understanding. So students, this is all for today's. Hope you learn so many new things about carbon and its compound. And students, it's my request to kindly watch the videos and like, share and subscribe so that I can come with some new topics. Have a good day. Bye bye.